And again, we're putting on this very poppy Mama V and I just to be in solidarity with the Veterans Association of Ghana and all those veterans who have fought in many wars, not only the First, but also the Second World Wars, especially when we send West Africa Frontier Force or troops to Burma to fight alongside the Indians as well as the Burmese and the other nationals in support of the Allies against the Axis. And so as we have them in Second World War as well. So it's been 100 years since the commencement or the start of the First World War. And so we've had 2 world wars then and several conflicts across the globe as well. So it doesn't mean that conflict will ever stop. They've never stopped, have they? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. First, let me just introduce my guest for the morning. Kamaldeen Abdullah is the National Nasara Coordinator of the MPP. And basically, he's in charge of the Zongos as well as many of those communities where I grew up as well and have a lot of friends there. And Kamaldeen, thanks for joining me this morning. How are you?
Good morning,
I love your shirt. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
The red inside there, is it supposed to signify anything?
Well,
or just a style?
Just a style.
Okay.
Just a style.
And another man who is also very stylish is Kobna Adekoka, Joseph Nia Adekoka. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Today is Poppy Day, eh?
Poppy.
Yeah, you should have
giving you all
giving us one
in solidarity.
solidarity.
All right. This gentleman is being contested by a number of people just because he's in the incumbent in the next executive position elections being convened across the country. Currently in the turmoil a little bit, but by the NDC. And thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, how's the election going?
Well, there's a saying in our local dialect, Arinipankasa.
Okay.
Contest it's democracy.
Or democracy.
The democracy.
Yeah, all right.
And that's the name of the game.
Yeah, Benakan.
Nakano.
Okay, so let's start the discussion. It seems to be a back and forth issue with government and then the labor unions. And ultimately, government went to court and now they've had an injunction. As of Monday, 9 labor unions said they had been, or many of them had been served based on what was on injunction from the court, and 9 out of the 12 had been stated or have their names on the injunction. Do you think this back and forth and the way it's going, there was a press conference that was convened by the Ministry of Communications to convey their own concerns and deny what they have to deny, etc.?
Yeah, Roland, good morning to you and my very good friend here. Remember was it Thursday or so, we were here.
Yeah.
And we requested for the numbers to be made available to the whole country. And that has been done. And then the government asked the unions to call off the strike, and then they also call off stop the court action. Well, government has gone for ex-parte motion, and they've been granted. And I think we've got to a stage that, like I said a week ago, that we need to have sober heads and reflect, because we are talking about the country called Ghana. We are talking about people, students and children not going to school, institutions, government, public offices coming to a standstill. We have passed that stage long ago. I believe it's time for everybody to hold its horses. Everybody, we all know where the money is. We know the quantum of the money. Well, what you have to do now is go and sit down and look at the law and see how best the law can be implemented. But at the end of the day, last time we were here, I said the intention of government is to ensure that we have quality pension for our fathers and brothers and sisters who are about to retire next year, so that they'll be able to have a decent pension. If that is what we are talking about, then why should we resort to Ghana Medical Association? They are prepared to go to court. I mean, they are prepared to go to jail. I mean, what is going on? Do we want this country to move on? Look at what's happening all around us in Africa, all over the place. And God has given us a very peaceful country called Ghana, that we should be able to, at least, we should be able to agree to disagree and ensure that at the end of the day, the Ghanaian, right, is the one who benefits, and all of us are Ghanaians. So I think it's about time we stop this belligerency that is creeping in everywhere. Workers should go back to work, come to the negotiation table, and let us look at how best the law can be applied, and then we move on.
Kamal, you said that in many respects, having an injunction, and we know that it's supposed to last for 8 days at least, will give government a period where they can settle the issues with the unions and try to reach a certain truce. But going by the back and forth comment, it doesn't help. For example, a press conference was convened yesterday, early yesterday morning. Just around this time, the press conference was almost about taking place. And the government had sought to explain a two-tier pension scheme and whether, well, is it the Pension Alliance Trust was appointed in due consultation with the labor unions, etc. as well. And later on, we've had some denials and all.
It's a very interesting scenario. I mean, just giving it up. First of all, good morning to our cherished viewers out there. I have always been taken aback by the way in manner things have been handled in this country. First of all, just look at the timing of the press conference. At what time do we have press being available and very
anytime, 24 hours?
Anytime, I agree. At what time did invitations go out where they selected press and whatever? You see, to have had your press conference at dawn, because I'll call it at dawn, because 6 a.m. in the morning is quite early. Let's be very honest.
It was after 8.
Also,
I think it was around 8.
But the arrangement,
not yet.
Arrangement basically will start towards 6 o'clock coming up there. But you see, the point I'm trying to make here is that the way in manner we handle affairs of national concern or issues of national concern in this country in terms of governance that is going on now, I mean, it's appalling, very much appalling. First of all, I had cause to read about ex-parte motions, and there's one judge, in fact a Canadian judge, who said that ex-parte motions do a lot of injustice to the party that is not present. You see, why do you, if you say you are on the dialogue table with them, you are negotiating with them, and in fact, even prior to going for this ex-parte motion on Friday, on Thursday, you were in a meeting with this labor union. In as much as you did not agree with each other on point, but you made a headway. So you did not, and you even on that meeting at the end of it, threatened them with this court action, that go and withdraw, and then we'll also withdraw court case, otherwise we'll go to court. It means you had even what you were stepping on. Lo and behold, you went to court and then came out to say that you have secured an injunction via an ex-parte motion. The party involved or affected were not actually listened to. We are not questioning the law at all. You see, my proposal and my recommendation here to all the labor union, they should adhere to the court's order completely. As a student of the laws, will never sit somewhere to tell someone that do not respect the law, because your protector is the law. You understand? So for me, first and foremost, 8 days, no problem. They shouldn't be in contempt of court. They should go and adhere to whatever the court says. However, they should prepare their salvos to face the government squarely, because you have already betrayed the trust that you claim that you were having for us. You've not have it. Already we don't even trust you, because the money that you are saying that you want, you have kept for us, in fact, it's shrouded. We don't even know how much interest is on it. We don't know what is happening.
But that's not true. Now, all that has been clarified.
What is it?
In a press conference, it was stated by the MPRA that we've had contributions in excess of 1.6 billion Ghana cedis, and following that, in excess of 400 million Ghana cedis in interest, following the investment in T-bills.
That was just a rehash of what had happened before even this press conference yesterday. It was a rehash. I am saying that.
Kamal, is that not unfair? These comments you're making, is that not unfair to, for example, the ministry in charge and also the MPRA?
I have also heard a lot of denials coming from the labor union that they don't even know what is happening.
So you're saying the glass of information?
I'm saying that,
okay.
See, government says X, the labor union come to say Z.
But they don't hold the money. They don't hold the money. The money is not in their account.
You see, I beg your pardon. Fundamental questions. Is government supposed to hold the money for them?
No. But they collect.
Tentatively, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Bank of Ghana, it goes there. Tentatively, listen to this. And the law clearly, and I'm surprised that the minister who held the press conference did not tell us that the law clearly tells them that after 90 days, when trustees are put in place, the money be transferred to them. We're not told that. That is, you see, so when you don't do that, there's an affront to the law there. The very law that you are saying, now you go further to say that you cannot entrust the future of the pensioners in the private hands or in private hands. When in fact the same government, you sit down there and you are promoting PPP, private partnership development. You have been talking about it. You say that. Now you are saying you can't trust private. Ghanaians, listen to them. These people are talking. They tell you that they don't trust private sector. The next moment they will come and tell you PPP must work. Private partnership and public partnership must work. You see, where do we stand? I am saying that all this thing we are doing, we are being miserly with the truth. If we were clear, transparent, and tell people that, look, this is the money is supposed to go to this scheme.
But you've been told.
So far, we are told.
What more do you need to be persuaded?
Roland, we are told so far that over 25 schemes has actually been licensed and registered to actually operate at fund managers.
That's occupational schemes.
We are told that. Now, if we have them, it means that impliedly you wanted them to work and manage the funds for us. Is that not right? You've given them their job. So what is stopping you from pushing the money into those places after the 90 days has elapsed? When in fact today we have a dicey situation at hand that by January people will go to pension and they will need their money and all that. You see, I'm saying that the opaque manner in which government is handling this affair is causing this problem. But if we are clear and come out and stop going around, dancing around things, and of course having Omani Boama to come and tell us, talk a lot about this, when at the end of the day we don't see any headway, I would have advised him, as one of the workers would say, he should have actually left the public office and come to the what's the name?
But that's unfair.
I mean,
that's unfair. When you become a lawyer and you become a minister, would you make comments?
He will empathize with them.
If you become a lawyer ultimately and you become a minister, would you say that then you need to go to the Attorney General's department and prosecute cases somewhere, let's say in a department or agency somewhere? That would be unfair. You're a minister of state, and if you're a minister of state, it's got nothing to do with your profession.
I believe you listened to his press conference.
I listened
and you
to
read
it.
it.
Okay, that's what I'm about to ask this very question.
My point is that they distract.
Now, if particularly we take a look at the content of the press conference by the Minister of Communications, Dr. Edward Omani Boama, and you particularly take a listen at how he sought to explain the terms that had been gone into the agreement, especially in putting together all that before the appointment of or approval of
very transparent
and all that. But later on, the unionized heads, their representatives came on radio and TV and categorically denied some of the statements by the minister. Now, if you have government on one side saying this, and the labor unions also on one side saying this, it doesn't tend to bring the sort of harmony you need as far as in labor relations, mediation and arbitration.
First and foremost, I will address that issue in the
Do.
You know, you remember when the PRC increased the rates for
utilities,
right? The union came out to disassociate themselves with it. Whilst they were on the board. So I'm just opposing that onto what you just asked me.
So you're saying they act smack of double standards?
Yeah, how can the minister? No, please. How can the minister? Are you telling me that the minister or what the minister said was a lie? Can the minister come and stand in front of the whole country and lie? I'm happy with your choice of words. All that he said. So it means some parts were lies. No, you say I'm happy with your choice of words. Are you telling me all that he said was lies? So some parts were lies and not all.
I didn't continue.
Understand? So look, Roland, as I said earlier on, if you are going to go this back and forth, we'll get nowhere.
But who is starting?
No, the minister.
You as government seem to be instigating. I'm not particularly saying you. I'm talking just in generic as government. Seem to be instigating all this. Seem to be at the forefront and saying, because we're the lead employer, we seem to be at the forefront of taking whatever backlash there is. So we'll come forward and take the steps. And sometimes these steps are being questioned. For example, a press conference that is convened hurriedly, that the unionized labor heads say is clearly in breach of the trust and the ongoing negotiations that we're having with government.
Well, the minister came to explain the processes, how we arrived at where we are. You understand? People are trying to impute some motive towards the company that have been given the job.
Oh, Pension Alliance.
Pension Alliance.
As trustees.
As trustees. People are trying to link that to government functioning, that kind of thing. So he has to come and explain the situation. And he said all the processes earlier on, and I heard one of the labor union members agreeing that they were part of the processes. And then yesterday they come out again and say that they are not part of the process. So I mean, there's politics going on here. Let's be clear about this issue. There's some kind of politics being played here.
If you say politics, you don't mean party politics.
I mean
politics, some level of general politics.
General politics being played here. So I believe that's why in my earlier story I said, look, we should stop this bantering of going up and down. And everybody should stay where he is now. And let's come to the table to negotiate. At the end of the day, you are going to do that. At the end of the day, you have to come and negotiate. You understand? So we should all stop apportioning blames to Mr. A or Mr. B. That the minister said this, the union said, and then I don't know. What kind of a trust can you build so that you can be able to go and sit at the negotiating table? So I believe it's about time we stop this bantering and then go back.
There's an interesting point. Who needs to build the trust? Foremost,
the government.
Okay. So right. The steps the government is taking, you think that? I think so. They are in the right. They are in the right step.
No. This is the government. The bottom line is that the government wants to make sure that your pension is safe. Oh, is that not the bottom line? I mean, no, that's the bottom line. I agree. Yeah. That's what government is not taking your money to go and use it for government projects. The money government says that look, we have to pay our experiences over the years. Let us tread cautiously. We agree that the workers have got it, but the government too has also got a say. Because at the end of the day, if things go wrong, whom are you going to go back to? I agree. We are going to turn back to government. I agree. So what is it? So why are we at where we are? Because we don't want to agree. And I believe that this is because we are in a political season. And everybody wants to score political points. And we should put a stop to it.
Have we got into the political season?
They have elected their flag bearer.
Okay. Look, so you think that for them, in the end, as the campaign stops?
Akufo-Addo waits into the pensions matter. I thought he would rather ask
the he's a statesman. He's a leader of the biggest opposition party.
I think he will ask the workers to go and work.
Oh. Now you've brought Akufo-Addo in. Okay, I'll ask you about Akufo-Addo. Don't worry. But you're not commenting on
Akufo-Addo. You asked me a question.
I shouldn't talk.
You will talk. When you're talking, I keep quiet. Let me land.
And then continue. I give you the permission. Granted.
No, I've not been talking. It's not been fair to me.
Anyway.
No, it's not been fair. No, the word he used is not fair. It's not being fair. I'm sorry. I'm talking the whole day. As if I'm not making
for a long time. Not the whole day, for a long time. Figurative. I sounded.
Okay. So you go ahead. I'll give you the floor.
You know, I'm happy my uncle Ade is struggling so much to defend this matter. Today, why do we go to court? We go to court because we think that there's a tool that protects all of us here.
Which is the
law.
Okay.
Simple. There's nothing that is stopping it. The workers, in as much as, like I said earlier on, in as much as they have their right, you understand, the only way they can go to get their right being stamped on is the courts. Government say. Now, question is, what is causing this problem today? Because we have an act called Act 766, meaning the Pension Act. Yes. Therein, the act spelled out is how the pension, the second-tier pension, is supposed to be handled.
We know.
And it's very clear, no ambiguity. Now, government says that no, what is there that the act says that we should give it to private man, we will not give it to private man. We are afraid.
And then the unions also say what?
Wait a minute. We are afraid that tomorrow it may not. Then the unions say no. Let's go by what the act says. Until otherwise happen, then of course at the end of the day, if we would have to do something about repairing that particular act, then we repair the act. But for now, have we used it satisfactorily and has there been problem? No.
But if you see dangers along the line,
excuse me, what's the danger? If you see the danger is supposed to come from two folds.
Which is
the employees and the employers. Now, if you see danger and I see danger, and we all meet at a point, we all agree that this law or this written law, which was passed by
an honorable problematic.
Let it go to Parliament and let's see if the amendments. Absolutely, this is primary school management.
Okay, now I get
that everybody gets.
It's not primary school management. If it was primary school management, would it have been where we are? It's a very difficult situation. But in order not to dilute what the argument is, would you say perhaps that should have been the onward posture from the beginning, that the law was problematic, and so we needed to take a look at the law before we started the issue of the occupational scheme registrations and acceptance
Roland,
or licensing, then even the appointment. You think that was where we should have started?
And a whole lot of work was done into this.
Has been done, actually.
A lot on this particular act before its promulgation. From 2004 down the line to 2008, a whole lot of work was done. It's not to say that it's cast in stone, they cannot make mistakes. They may. But my point I'm making here is that clearly, if we have a situation, where the situation says that it has been prescribed by law, that this is the way we should go, there is a Latin saying which says that lex injusta non ex lex, that a law that is bad is no law. However, some school of thought will come and tell you, no matter how bad it is, once it's law, it's law. Are you getting me? So long as that law is there, please, I beg you, work with it. So the Omani Buames, the government position is that my fear is that there was Piram and this happened. No, don't say some of these things because you are jumping the gun. Nothing has, no harm has been caused by the law. No. But you see, please, let me land here. I'm saying that government will do us good if they come out clear and, of course, try to consult the workers very well, and then they sit down and then move on. That will help us. But if that is not done,
I don't know. You know, during the sitting or the current sitting of the commission investigating the Black Stars participation at the World Cup, Justice Jamapa made this very comment. He says that lawyers are always very technical with the law, but you need technical wisdom to do the interpretation of the law.
Absolutely.
So is that not what we need? We need technical wisdom to do the interpretation ourselves. You don't always have to go to the courts, and that was what he was saying in reference to all that.
Well,
so perhaps the workers also should accede and say there are difficulties with the law and these are. But government also should know that these are the concerns of the workers and foremost need to be respected.
So, Roland,
is that not it? So it's a win-win. It should be a win-win situation for everyone.
Roland, what do we do?
But when in this case, government seems to be assuming a certain posture and say, because I'm the biggest employer, I'm indeed the oversight employer, I seem to bear whatever brunt there is ultimately.
Roland.
And as a result of that, I'm taking this very step.
Roland,
that doesn't go well for the workers.
Do you know that until you go to pension, you go on pension, the money does not belong to you, the worker? Do you know that? Unless, because you are still working. You are still,
understand. But
you are still working for government.
No.
Please.
In this new law, the first one is not yours.
Absolutely.
But the second one, after some years of contribution, you can even go and encash.
Absolutely.
They have a section they call encashment. So you can go and encash.
I agree with you, Roland.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Well,
you can. It's yours. It's your money. 5%. That 5% out of the 18% is yours.
But its management necessarily is not yours. You didn't do the contribution. So you know, all these are all subject to our own interpretations. It depends on how we want to interpret that.
Until you go on pension, the money does not belong to you. Because when you are going to cash it, you are going on pension. You understand? So let's get, you see, we can all give different interpretation to this law. The bottom line is that government is saying that, look, we have had numerous experiences on such funds which have been misapplied.
Not only in Ghana, but also around the world.
Around the world.
We know that.
So let us be cautious. All that I'm saying is that it has come to a stage that government and workers' representatives, workers should go to work, government should also hold its fire, and let us sit down. I'm sure within a couple of days, we can find, now that it has become a very a hot topic that everybody is talking about, we will find solutions. Like you said, the technical people whom we need to come and interpret the clauses for us, we'll bring them on board, and this matter will be resolved. But to continue bantering and to continue going on strike,
you know my prediction.
It doesn't help us, and we shouldn't glorify strike in this country, and that's what some people are trying to do. They want to glorify strike. And it's bad.
Which people?
You know my prediction.
My brother knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, no problem.
They are glorifying strike.
They
are glorifying strike.
Yes. You see, there is a saying in Akan, Sekuku kukuni jaya, keke subejai. You understand? We don't just glorify strikes. We are people who are very reasonable, and I'm happy the law, you made a point, and I wanted you wanted Adi to understand that technically the law must be interpreted by everybody. That means that reasonability is a very important.
You need reason, a lot of wisdom.
Reason.
Not necessarily only going straight by the tenets of the law.
No, Roland, truth is that laws are supposed to be very unambiguous. so that every common man who takes it knows that this is what, because they say ignorance of the law.
But would you say the Pensions Act is unambiguous?
It's not. It's completely, there's no ambiguity in the law. That's what I'm taking it. And that's the way law is supposed to be.
It is explicit.
When you take it subjectively, you should be able to tell that this is the meaning of the law.
So you're saying that what the biggest employer government is the one at fault?
Absolutely. The point is that they already told us that, look, we are afraid that going forward something might happen. That is all their position.
But hasn't it happened before?
Roland, but now let me make this point. My prediction is that government is opening doors for protracted litigation in the courts. Why? Because if you first of all went and sneak into the court and acquired an ex-parte injunction, which I know that it will not stand test of time, frankly speaking, because the judge granted you because you thought that maybe you were hard pressed. You know what? The application that you even bring for an ex parte motion, there in the application, you are expected by law to state the position of the one who is on the blind side and argue for him.
Have you read it?
Look, I'm coming. And argue for him.
Motion?
And then do yours. And then the lawyer, the judge will juxtapose both and then use his discretion to grant it. Granted, the court has given. I am waiting for the study of the judgment to finish by their lawyers. And I will not be surprised, I'm telling you, I will not be surprised that at the end of the day, if litigation goes on in court, the labor unions indeed are going
but
to
we don't know that.
But
that's very hypothetical. Very speculative.
Now the point is that going forward, I want to beg this government. We are sick and tired of labor unrest in this country.
Oh, I thought you glorified
it got to a time when we stop it, that everybody in this country, all organized labor, everybody, put their tool down for one day, 24 hours. That was a huge signal to government. Because we thought that economic hardship was staring us in the face. It was so much us in the face. Again, it came to a time where we had teachers at Putak, of Putak, all of them going for 4 months strike, just because you thought that their research and book allowance was not giving them. Finally, government said, we'll pay. Why did you waste our time and waste the time of students for 4 months? It came. Teachers now, they are arrears, they are on strike. You see, it's everywhere. It is, that's why I say, if you do things well, nobody, I mean, in his sane mind, will get up and say, I want to go back on strike. No. But if things are not done right from day one to the end, that is where Ghana is put now. And I'm saying, are they advise of people? Those people that we put there as ministers, if they are charlatans, take them out. I'm saying if they are, I'm not saying they are charlatans. If they are charlatans and they don't know what they're doing, take them out. If they know what they're doing, maintain them and let's be going through this.
Sir, your point has been made.
The whole situation is getting
Your point has been made. Master, your point has been made.
It's murky.
He said the committee in consultation with the MPRA shortlisted 5 trustee companies: Enterprise, Providence, Universal,
Data Bank, all of them
Glyco, Pensions Alliance.
Everybody was there.
Okay. Now,
this was transparent.
I didn't give them
now, why is it that we have the subject of Pension Alliance becoming an issue? It is understood that the selected trustee was the most responsive to the agreed criteria established. Among all of them, this Pension Alliance Trust.
Yeah.
Okay. Their ICT infrastructure was considered excellent.
Excellent.
Data management, disaster recovery plan, reliability of software system, and fund management expertise were also regarded as the best by the committee. And a committee was.
Well, I beg you, let me get this clear. Have they licensed all those ones or not?
Which one?
All the other schemes that you mentioned. They have licensed them. But yes, still they knew very well their computers and other things were no good. But they licensed them.
No, they said as far as being the trustee, the topmost trustee.
Topmost trustee.
Yes.
Now, why is that we have a Pension Alliance Trust becoming the bane of the argument?
No, because we are shifting the goalposts. When you see what happens in this country is that they ask you for X. When you produce the X, then they will ask you to produce Y, and then next it will be Z, and that's the problem. Right now, they want to impugn some kind of malfeasance into the whole thing. That is why that company Alliance,
Pension Alliance,
are being scrutinized. People are.
Do you know them?
No, I don't know them. I mean,
one of your council of elders is a member of your council of elders. Don't say you don't know.
No.
Reggie Manuel is a member.
Hello.
I don't know
Ghanaians. Fortis deal.
No, I don't know Ghanaians.
Let the gentleman speak. Stop heckling him. Let the gentleman speak. Kamaldeen Abdullahi. Come on.
No, he knows them.
No, come on, stop this. Let the gentleman speak. Why are you doing this to him?
You asked a question. He was being economical with the truth. I wanted to tell him that.
No, but when you have your time, then you make all the...
Okay.
No. I don't understand why my brother is doing that.
You want to that's mischief. You live
because I'm only telling you.
Oh, Kamaldeen Abdullahi.
I don't know the company. That's what I'm trying to say.
I asked the question whether you know. You say you don't know.
I don't know them. So if you are telling me,
I want to mention the Rosa and Co.
You know them by talking.
The question is that you want me to say because this man is
NDC Council of Elders is part of it.
What is that? What has that got to do?
GIPC boss under Professor Mills is part of it.
No, let me ask you.
Reggie Manuel Gray is part of it.
Let me ask you.
Fortis is part of it. All of them, they are there.
Let me ask you a question. As I sit here, I'm the regional chairman of NDC. Are you telling me I shouldn't work?
You must work, yes.
Are you telling me when I wake up in the morning, I should come and sit?
You shouldn't use your expertise.
I should use my expertise because I'm an NDC person. Is that what you are telling me? Is that what you are telling me this morning? No, when you go that way, right, then we will stop giving contracts to MPP people. Is that what you are saying? Because you are MPP, they shouldn't benefit because they'll use the funds to go and
I'm not sure you gave us contract. You didn't give
go and see. I mean,
let us not skew that.
MPP contractors
are working. The said that ministers open your doors for NDC people to come in. He didn't even say open your doors.
All right. Let's not get into this.
So some of these things.
Now we're talking about a company that has become.
It's a Ghanaian company.
Okay, we do understand that. How do we make sure that this very company doesn't become the subject of debate?
That is what we are trying to do now. That's what I'm saying that we should stop. Because all of a sudden, we've shifted the goalposts and trying to find who are behind the company and trying to impugn some motives against
And you think all this is being instigated by the opposition? Led by the MPP? Is that a categorical statement you're making?
You just heard their Nazar and Nasara coordinator making that statement. Absolutely here. Trying to say this man is from here, this man is from here.
You say you don't know that, and I only describe it for you.
Let me ask you this.
So that is what
business
people that's what they are doing.
Your flag, but what business has he commenting about?
Yes, some business has
pension fund. Is he the pension fund manager?
Oh, very well. Let me. You see, even myself, as I sit here as a Ghanaian and as a young man, who has my uncles and my fathers, of course, who will be due for pension, hopefully in January, I should be concerned about it. Because assuming,
look, he's doing cheap politics.
Please. He's asking a question. And let me do.
He's doing cheap politics.
And then let me address this. Don't do this to me.
He should not have put his foot in his
asked a question. If
the president of the republic has not spoken, he has left it to his functionaries to do. All of a sudden, he wants to be heard. And that's why I said earlier on that in Ghana, let me finish. In Ghana, 2 years down
but
the line,
what you are doing will not stop me from making my point.
You can make your point, but I'm saying that.
But I'm supposed to answer your question, and I'm surprised you have just.
There was no need for Akufo-Addo to wade into this.
Okay, you made your
very
point.
Good. Thank you. Why do we say, or can we say that there's a need for Akufo-Addo to make this comment? And I was referring to
because he's not the pension manager. He's only the leader of the biggest opposition party.
First of all, here's a man who is seeking to lead Ghana as a president. He says, I just sit here and say his president has not spoken. The president spoke through his mouthpiece, Omani Buama, Minister of Communication, to talk to us. I'm not too sure that the position that Omani Buama took yesterday was not government position. And who is head of government in this country? The president. So don't say he has not spoken. He has spoken. Please, the president has spoken. Except to say that he has spoken untruth. Now let's go on. Now let's continue. The point that Akufo-Addo made. He said, look,
that the workers reserve the right to demand the security of their end.
Demand the security of their social
glorified strike.
And he said that the manner in which it's being handled is so much shrouded. It's opaque. We don't know. Come with clarity and let people understand. That's all Akufo-Addo says.
He's even advising government to be proactive in dealing with it. Why? Is he the government?
No, he's not the look. You see, when you look at even definition of government, all of us sitting here are part of government. And of course, a statesman of his kind, a man who, of course, has risen through the rule of law to where he is, and understands the law and understands what it is. That is why I made my point earlier on that all this brouhaha is caused by disrespect for the law. And here's a man who has always espoused that we should go through the tenets of rule of law. Today, if he sees that the law is actually being disregarded, he has a right as a statesman to come and speak to it. And what he said was that, please, government or those who are in a driver's seat, handle this matter well, so at the end of the day, it will be, what do you expect from a statesman more than this? Then you sit here and say he shouldn't have spoken, waded into it. He only advised you, go and do the right thing. Stop spewing out, excuse me to use the word, lies, and do the right thing. Then you say that, no, he shouldn't talk.
Are these lies?
Oh, no, you told me that all that the minister said was
do you
lies,
agree?
Some part were lies. You just said
you said that.
Do you agree? Do you agree?
And I agree with him.
Come out. Do you agree now? Following this very injunction that has been sought by government, the unionized workers have no choice than to come to the table.
Yes, I have always been a respecter of law, like I said. It's just 8 days. What I said was that, yes, let's respect it. Let us not be in contempt.
Well, they are respecting it. Now is the chance for them to come back to the table.
If they do, no. What is it? They've always been on the table. On Thursday, they had a meeting and only for government to get up the following morning and sneak to the court and go and seek.
But they have to go back to the table. It's only through negotiations that you can resolve your difficulties.
No one
it's through
is
dialogue.
saying they are not on the table. But I'm saying that what government is doing is just worrying himself. You are shooting yourself in the leg. You were saying that they should sit with you. Now you have gone to say you want to test the laws and you want to secure an injunction. Let them prove to the court.
So the unionized group, what should they do beyond the subject of just obeying the injunction?
I will repeat it. Respect the law. 8 days will pass. Of course, go and make your case in court if you can. And of course, let's the court interpret.
So you are saying what, they should go back to where 8 days and continue with the strike action? Is that a posture you think that is good for the economy? Because we're told that the economy is losing a lot of money each day.
Yes, if there's an interim injunction.
You don't seem to empathize with what's going on, do you?
I do, but the point is that, let me tell you, if you refuse to make peaceful change or peaceful order prevail, or you make it impossible, then you make violence inevitable. Because let me tell you, sometimes it takes agitation. It takes strong stance to get the right thing done. But if you allow wrongdoing to always sail through, and you say in the name of empathizing, in the name of peace, in the name of this, when the wrongdoing is perpetuated, then we'll get to a place where we can never solve it. And I'm saying that the workers, in fact, you see, and they're discerning people. Ruler, are you aware of that? These are people who knows what they're doing. Very educated people, highly learned, work for 45 years or 40 years or 30 years, highly experienced people. They know what they're doing. And yet we are trying to treat them like children. You want to say that you are their father of all. They are kids. They can't be kids. Are they?
Come on.
I've been in this game for a very long time. And when I smell a rat, I smell a rat. And I'm saying that this country, we are doing too much politics. It's too much. The politics.
Even the strike?
It's politically motivated. If my brother is sitting there,
you are insulting the workers.
I'm not insulting the workers.
Don't do that.
You are
behind but don't pitch the workers against us. Pitch the workers against us.
We are talking doctors. We are talking lawyers. We are talking attorney general.
If the president of the Ghana Medical Association, they are prepared to go to prison. When the government says that we haven't gotten there yet, let's come and sit down.
And they're fighting for workers' rights.
As government applied their funds, that's the question. The money, is the money missing?
They don't know.
Oh God.
They don't know.
What are you talking
about?
You
are only saying that it is what the 400 something million. So that's why it's 1.6 billion. They don't know.
There's been a press conference for which it's been outlined what the contributions are, what the outcome of the contributions have been so far since they've been invested. We're talking about interest here. So categorically, we know what sums we're talking about, where it is located.
Nobody has come up to challenge the figures. I thought what we'll be sitting here and say, look, the figures are wrong. We have got the figure. It's about 5 billion. Here, nobody is talking about. But people.
So what do you expect the union, the unions to do now? Apart from just obeying?
I'm appealing to them that they should think about the country called Ghana first. Right? Because our economy.
So they should go back to work.
Go back to work
and come to the negotiation table.
And I'm very.
And then government continue with this posture and say,
No.
I'll be the father of all. And that therefore took care of kids.
No, sir. Let me answer.
That's what the government is doing.
I'm very hopeful that at the negotiation table, you use a certain word. That technical people who come, you need them to come and interpret what.
Technical wisdom. They need technical wisdom.
And we resolve this. If they want their monies to be given to them to handle, fine, and then there'll be a proviso.
No, but that's not a posture of government.
I'm coming. No, I'm saying if I'm part of a negotiating team, and 5 years down the line, something happens, nobody should come and blame government. No, because government...
Ultimately, government will have to take responsibility.
But if government will have to take responsibility, and government says that let us do it this way, and our brothers on other divide, instead of them...
But don't you need agreement in the way government wants to do it? Is it not critical? Now, government doesn't seem to be changing its position on the way it wants the trustee, that's the Pension Alliance Trust, to operate. And then the way the licensed occupational schemes that have to operate as well.
Government in its wisdom, at this particular moment of time, sees certain dangers if we don't address those dangers. What is wrong about that? That we can't sit down.
I don't know. What dangers that you see that we don't see? That's my problem.
Because you are refusing to see the dangers.
Let him make his
point. You are made a lot of points. Roland, he has made a lot of points.
Let him make his point. Come on, let him make his point.
You are refusing to see the dangers because you've made up your mind that you won't see the dangers.
So please
let us as a government, we are on the throttle, and we are saying that workers, let us come and sit down and find out how we have fed the dangers 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. It's a simple matter. This does not necessitate people to go on strike. And I believe that we should call off the strike. Government should also throw an olive branch to them by probably just stopping the court action and come on and let's join together and find a common platform and move this country forward. We can't afford to be going on strike every day. Do you know how much it costs this nation every day that we are on strike? The children are not going to school. People have paid fees for their wards to be educated, and they are sitting in the house, and we are happy about it. Today Nagra, today Potak, today Crossack, today this, and we are happy. We come and sit in the studio, and we say 8 days will elapse. After 8 days, go and test this and say 8 days continue to be in work.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Don't you think that is also the responsibility of the opposition, especially the majority opposition we have, the MPP, to rather be lending or complementing the call for the workers to go back to work and contribute meaningfully to productivity?
I want a promise from my brother that he wouldn't heckle, because the point I'm going to make is so important. First of all, you said responsible opposition is what we need in this country. Secondly, I will make a point again that I have made severally on this particular platform today, that there is only one tool that protects all of us, which is the law. So responsible opposition here must ask questions. What is the law? What does the law say? Tomorrow, if I am actually found to be part of this thing, what will protect me is the law. So is the law being followed? Those are the salient questions that responsible opposition would ask.
Otherwise,
now to have said or to say that the opposition is fueling kind of or fanning the workers to still embark on strike, I disagree with you, because when I sat here, clearly I said, I disagree with my brother, sorry, because when I sat here, I said that once the court, not you, once the court has spoken and the court has given us a mandate to follow, let's go by that direction. And then, of course, exhaust whatever the court does, so that at the end of the day, we will not be seen to be in contempt of whatever the court says. That's the speech of responsible opposition. Responsible opposition is only to ensure that the right thing in the system is done. That is all we are talking about. So for me, we are not pushing workers to embark on strike. We are only pushing workers to ask for what is due them, because rightly so, that is what is supposed to be done. Now, someone sitting there and claiming some danger that we don't see, that they alone see, and opposition don't see, and workers don't see, and they alone see the danger. Of course, it leaves a lot of questions to be answered. And I'm saying
all around the world, we've had some of these mutual management schemes, etc., and even pension fund management schemes collapse. especially when we had a credit crunch at its peak. We had many of these firms collapsing.
Yeah, I heard this argument before, that when you go to the Scandinavian countries, we had that problem, that some countries,
even in the US, we have people's management funds that collapsed.
Equally, when you go to Switzerland, the second tier management scheme that we have today is running effectively, because they would have put in together a whole lot of machinery that at the end of the day will ensure that the scheme is perfectly working. You see, the onus lies on you, the fund manager, the one who sees yourself as a watchdog, which is government, as you are talking about, and then of course the employees, all of them ensuring that our social security is very so much important, therefore let's secure it. Now, if we play our role very well and don't try to shortchange anybody or try to suppress anyone in making decisions, then we'll have problems. So for me, all this I'm saying, if I'm left, me, Kamaldeen, if I'm given this particular thing to manage, in as much as I have got a little knowledge in whatever pension management is, I will follow the directions put by law and ensure that I do it simply, and I will get to where I want to get to. But not to come and be rabble-rousing and say you are doing press conferences.
If the law,
what we do know is that the organized labor unions also say they're organizing a press conference today. They actually have a meeting with government this afternoon, but they'll proceed that with a press conference this morning. And I'm sure that's also because government had taken the course of action that it has taken.